For joining us here on KREM 2 News at 5, I'm Whitney Ward. The will they or won't they saga continues for Spokane Valley's Splashdown water park. Earlier this year, the park said it would be open in June. Now here in July, it hasn't happened. And as we see now from where our Janelle Finch is standing, the gates remain closed tonight. She is joining us live now to tell us the status of the park's reopening. Janelle?
Since the news of Splashdown reopening made local headlines, people have been eager to beat the heat at the Spokane Valley Water Park. The park was set to open last month, but now at the end of July, the slides behind me are still dry. Right now, the only water to be seen at Spokane Valley Splashdown is coming from the sprinklers, and the only splashing around here is happening at the neighborhood pool. But Branson Olson, son of the new water park owner, says he hopes that won't be the case much longer.
We want it open just as much as you guys do.
In fact, Olson wanted to open Splashdown this week.
Totally set on planning on opening Wednesday. And the day before, we were just testing everything, making sure it's fine. One of our pumps actually decided to snap, like what sucks the water up the hill to feed the slides. One of them, the main line that spins it and brings it up the hill, just decided to snap on us.
Even without this issue, the park's already at least 1 month behind on reopening. Splashdown initially announced on Facebook it would be open by June 2023. Now at the end of July, people are asking when the park will be opening. It's clarity neighbor Christy Cortez has been waiting on.
Over the last couple months in regards to Splashdown, I've seen that they are going to open, that they're not going to open, that the news says they're opening, that the news says they're not opening, and that they have season passes, sort of, kind of.
As a mom of a soon-to-be 6-year-old, she says Splashdown would be something her daughter would enjoy.
This would be the perfect, first slides water park for kids her age.
But until the park opens, Cortez and her daughter, like many families, will just have to keep waiting.
Totally apologize. We probably should have took another summer, but we're so eager to get it open for the public, so we're trying.
Olson says despite all issues, the park was inspected and approved. He hopes to have maintenance problems fixed and the park open by this Saturday. As the park prepared to open, they did begin selling season passes. I did have a chance to speak with the owner directly and ask about those season passes, and he does say that season ticket holders will be getting a refund as most of the summer is behind us. Live in Spokane Valley, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
Janelle, thank you. And we are now 5 days away from Spokane County's primary election. And in our commitment to bringing you more to every story, we are analyzing this record-breaking mayoral race in Spokane. KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy spoke with an expert about what the money really means. Shannon?
Incumbent Nadine Woodward has raised more than any other Spokane mayoral candidate ever. But we wanted to know if that signals what we could see happen in November or if the money really matters. Before any votes have been tallied, there's already a clear winner when it comes to fundraising in Spokane's mayoral race.
In almost every election, the people who have more money are more likely to win.
Incumbent Nadine Woodward's nearly $420,000 in contributions is more than any mayoral candidate has raised in city history. According to Washington's Public Disclosure Commission, Woodward edged out the $395,000 raised by David Condon when he won the seat in 2015. The next nearest contender in terms of funding is Lisa Brown, who raised about $270,000. Tim Archer has pulled in just over $29,000, most of it self-funded.
Obviously, it really helps a candidate to raise more money. That enables you to buy more advertising.
Political science professor Blaine Garvin says money isn't everything, though more donations can signal who voters or certain groups see as a likely winner. While Brown has raised more than $208,000 from individual donors, Woodward's campaign has largely been bankrolled by businesses, real estate groups, and developers.
The opposition may very well, I don't think they will, but could very well say, look, she's in their pocket. Or she's thinking about their interest more than she's thinking about the interest of the ordinary voter.
Garvin cautions money isn't the most important factor in an election. It's more about voters recognizing a candidate, especially if they have a track record voters can get behind.
Money doesn't buy election.
And of course, the fundraising isn't over yet. With the general election in November, there's still plenty of time to earn even more for two contenders. And here's another thing to consider. Garvin says elections are just getting more expensive in general, so we are seeing in many cases more funds going into local races. Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you. And if you haven't yet registered to vote, you can still register, but you will have to do it in person at the Spokane County Elections Office now through Election Day, which again is coming up on August 1st. Now, if you would like more information about all the issues that you will see on the ballot, KREM 2 has a voter's guide to break down all the races and ballot issues. So just text the word VOTE to 509-448-2000 and we'll send it right to your phone. And our election coverage will continue on KREM 2+. You can hear directly from the candidates in the mayor's race in our Tea with Amanda Rowley series. And if you would like to know more about the issues, again, text the word VOTE to 509-448-2000. We'll send that link to your phone. In national headlines today, former President Donald Trump is facing new charges for his alleged mishandling of classified documents. The former president, who is already facing 37 criminal charges, was charged with 1 additional count of willful retention of national defense information and 2 additional obstruction counts. Those charges are all related to the attempts to delete surveillance video footage at his Mar-a-Lago resort last summer. New charges were also filed against a third person, which is Trump's valet. Those charges have not been made public. All of this, though, coming just a few hours after Trump's attorneys met with the Department of Justice just this morning regarding a potential second indictment from special counsel Jack Smith. That case is for his alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election. All right, back here at home, let's take a break from those headlines and talk weather. The country is suffering from extreme heat in a lot of places, but we are sitting pretty right here in the inland Northwest. We love how it feels out there, and Jeremy Legou, our chief meteorologist, is here to tell us there's more of this on the way.
Oh, there is, and believe it or not, this is kind of our, I know I talk about this a lot, average hottest stretch of the entire year, and right now we sit pretty close to those seasonal norms and stay pretty close to those seasonal norms right through the weekend. Have to hit the magic button. 84 in Spokane and over in Coeur d'Alene, 85 up in Deer Park, near 90 out in central Washington. And if you compare that to this time yesterday, those temps have bumped up by about 5 degrees across much of the inland Northwest, and that equates to a warmer morning tomorrow. Our temperatures once again are going to bump up by about another 5 degrees, and that little bit of a change as we get into the day is going to help us get even warmer in the afternoon. So slow, steady increases taking us through the weekend with no real weather maker. What we wind up seeing is just more and more of the heat building in. Notice a little bit of storm activity, but for the most part, a lot of that isn't reaching the ground. Kind of where you see the lightning here along the crest of the Cascades and some of those darker colors, you're getting it. Out here, that's just going to be a lot of raindrops kind of lightly hitting, if you will. 89 degrees for us tomorrow, though. Most of that cloud cover or disturbance just doesn't even make it to us. 92 on Saturday, 87 on Sunday, and I finally got those lows in the right order. 58 tomorrow morning, 59 Saturday, and 61 on Sunday. Believe it or not, kind of tomorrow and Sunday wind up being the 2 days that we are closest to those seasonal norms. So, yeah. Enjoy average because that's what we get.
I love today. Why? Because it's Tom's Barbecue. What have we got on the grill tonight? Cooking them low and slow. Put them on at about 4:15 this afternoon. Dig the pig, ladies and gentlemen. We've got ribs on the grill. We'll talk more about this when we come back.